going to be giving a presentation, and you are the director of operations at Emerge, if I'm saying that right. There's two M's, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It came from immersive technology. That was the original creation of some students at JMU. And so that's where the name comes from.
Nice. Very good. Well, so what all do you do at Emerge?
So we actually, about 12 years ago, we were purchased from by McClung Printing. So we're sort of an all-encompassing marketing firm. What we do at Emerge, we do the websites and digital marketing, but our company does any kind of messaging, print, direct mail, any of those kind of things. We do promotional products. So any kind of messaging, that's where our sweet spot is.
So obviously, because you're speaking at Expression Engine Conference, and I know I've interacted with you in support requests and stuff for my Expression Engine add-ons, so you do a lot of Expression Engine sites, I'm guessing. So
we do.
Yeah,
and it's really our favorite. You know, we do WordPress, we
yeah
too, but they're you kind of have to adapt. But we really try to convince people about Expression Engine. I was talking to a client the other day, and they're like, I just don't know about this. I just don't know about Expression Engine. I'm like, all right, let me tell you how wonderful this is. Because when I started in web, I started using Joomla, like 1.7 or awful stuff, and
yes.
just being able to share with somebody like my experience using WordPress and the beauty of the things that you can do. Just talking about the security of Expression Engine, I was just like, I'm so proud that we're part of this community, that we can just say, look, there's no security breaches with Expression Engine, and we can't even put on a paper how many some of the other systems have. So, but yeah, you get a lot of stuff from us. It probably has my name on it. It's probably one of my texts too, sending it through.
That could be for sure. Yeah. So and like you say, Expression Engine, WordPress was started as kind of a blog thing, and it's great for a blog. And let's be real. Like, I'm a huge Expression Engine proponent, but like if you're just going to do a blog, WordPress may be slightly better because Expression Engine is really kind of toward custom development, right? And you can do so much more with Expression Engine. So, convincing your clients, and they've always heard of WordPress, but they've maybe not have heard of Expression Engine. But just that security angle too is so big.
Right.
So you're the director of operations at Emerge, is that correct?
Yes.
So what does that look like for you? Because I think this is going to be related to the presentation you're going to be giving as well. So what does it look like?
So it looks like anything on any given day. We're kind of small at our location, but it just means anything from day to day, looking at our numbers, looking at our people, looking at the projects that are coming through. Are things hot? Is the client getting testy, or who's happy, who's launching, who's being upgraded, those kind of things, just in kind of everything. And over the last few years have gotten to the point where my team, I've just been like, hey, you guys got it, you're good, what do you need from me? And that's more of where I sort of reside now, which is great, because they're great. They're like, they just do their thing. And I meet with them every week. I meet with our staff at least individually, just to kind of check in, see what's going on. Yeah. So communication is like the biggest thing for me. It's, how are things going? What's, are you ready to pull your hair out because you're, working in WordPress today? What can I get for you? You need some new plugins, those kind of things. So, but my presentation is on how people are the most important thing that we deal with, even when we're dealing in technology, because technology is supposed to make our lives better. And technology for technology's sake is sort of where we've ended up. And people are the most important aspect. The person building it, the person using it, the person paying for it, all those pieces are really, really valuable. And my job is sort of to be that tug of war in between, because everybody has an angle and everybody has a perspective. And, I will go to bat for my clients, but I'm going to go to bat for my devs too. I'm going to make sure they're protected and everyone. So it's that I'm always balancing who is going to be a little happier today than the other.
Yeah. Would you say that putting people first is kind of it's something we really need to be more cognizant of in our industry? Maybe it's kind of a problem in our industry, is that I think you alluded to it, we don't always put people first. We tend to put technology first.
And I think I think unfortunately people in technology have gotten a bad reputation for not caring about people, for being very sort of elitist in that we understand and I can't be bothered to explain it to you, where at the end of the day we don't have anything if we don't have those people buying this. And, I think that's one of the things that we've really, really tried to work towards is, taking that skill that people have there. I mean, I have some brilliant coders, but I work really hard to get them to be able to communicate effectively too. Explain this to me so that I understand, because I'm not a coder. I understand a lot, but explain it to me and tell me why that's not possible, or tell me why that's a terrible idea, what the client is asking for. Because I hear their perspective and it seems reasonable to me. Explain it to me. And so those things that we tend to call soft skills, I think are becoming more and more prevalent, and we need to exercise those and massage those types of skills.
Yeah, I mean, speaking as a developer myself, like those, as you call them, soft skills, are things that I have become aware that I am deficient in and really need to work to improve. And I think that really goes for all sides. Communication is often so key, and treating people with respect and as technologists, we can often look at somebody and say, oh man, they really don't know what they're talking about, and we know what's best. And that's not, we think that, but that's not often the case. And so putting people first, because people know, your clients or the people you're working with are often going to know their needs for their business better than you do. Even if you're the technologist, you're the one who's doing the technology, you may not know the business needs. And so putting those people first, I think, is extremely important.
Right. It is, and it's difficult. It's challenging because we have a lot of, me personally, I my first thing is I would rather just go work, leave me alone. I'll get my stuff done, let me be, and I will be productive. But and I have a lot of people on my staff that are like that. But it's that interaction, pulling them out, sort of that comfort zone of, of your code, and I always talk about. Coming from an outsider perspective, I would say as a developer, I think looking at people's code is a very personal, kind of a private thing. Like you're showing me your undergarments or something like that. Like, everybody has their tells, everybody has their things. But you learn a lot about that person in that code too. And so again, just being about people, what I've learned is I just mess it up a lot and just keep going. That's that.
Yeah. So I assume you have some target audiences in mind for giving this presentation at Expression Engine Conference. Who are you who should come to this presentation? Who are you hoping that will come?
Well, I think it can be for anyone, because I've been in technology enough that I can speak technically. So right. I can speak to those people who have a really high technical knowledge, and I can reach them at some point. And also speak to the people who are on a business track, or people who, are scared of technology. Like, it doesn't have to be this untouchable thing. So I think it can. My hope is that it would be applicable to anyone who's interested in improving and in being involved in technology.
What do you hope, and maybe you've already covered this, but what do you hope people will take away from your presentation? And maybe you can have multiple takeaways, or maybe different groups of people take different things away, but what are kind of your hopes there?
I think my hopes are that we kind of reset back to, that core fundamental thing that we got to think about people. And yeah, we've got great code, and it can be brilliant, and it can be, amazing, but if the person doesn't understand how to use it, or if it's not useful to them, it's not great code in their eyes. And so I think the takeaway is just sort of resetting and thinking, that client is not articulating that very well, and they're pretty irritated, and they're not being the nicest, but from their perspective, what they're seeing is not what they wanted. And it's just kind of half a step back and saying, I can be empathetic to that person. I can be empathetic to the guy building it. I can be empathetic to the guy that built it 10 years ago when all he had was this information and this budget and this technology. You
could almost say that our job, whatever role we're in, we're always looking to promote peaceful relationships, right? And not we're trying to understand the other's perspective, and we're trying to learn more about them, and not to be so hostile maybe. And I'm speaking maybe of indicting myself, because it is my first inclination when somebody comes to me with something that I don't like or don't understand to probably be hostile, and maybe that's not such a good thing.
Well, I think it's if you can train yourself not to be on the defensive. I think that's the biggest thing, because we get that a lot. My customer service people, I'm like, they're like, so and so screaming at me, I need you to come in, and I'm like, all right, I'm coming in. And we actually I was listening to a talk the other day, and it was Adam Grant, and he was talking about work-life balance, and he was talking to a hostage negotiator. And I think sometimes in these situations, that's where we end up. We're sort of negotiating what and his big question was, how do you want me to do that? And it's, how do you say that? You don't say, well, how do you want me to do that? You say, well, how do you want me to do that? And then they think, oh, well, I don't know. I don't like this. And so it's that calm presence of that person, because my first reaction is, my team didn't mess up. You just don't understand what they did.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm really looking forward to this presentation. I think it sounds like it's going to be extremely helpful especially to someone like me, whose first inclination is that more hostile. What do you have? You have a problem with what I did? What's wrong with you?
It's brilliant. What are you talking about?
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And for those of you who are watching, if you want to hang out with Joanna at Expression Engine Conference, I hope that you'll head over and purchase a ticket if you haven't already. And we look forward to seeing everyone there. It's going to be a great time. Expression Engine Conference is always great. Get to hang out with people and have a few beers, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and learn a lot of things like this. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Joanna.
Thank you.